Hey kids, welcome to another video. This is module 4, just in case you didn't know. Lesson 13, multiplying a unit fraction by a unit fraction. And when they say unit, what they mean is like a 1 on top. So we're working with a lot of ones in our first lesson on multiplying fractions with these models that we're going to make. So that they, make it easy for you. So always remember that you have these terms called factors, and those are the things you multiply. It's a factor when there's a multiplication sign in between them. That's why they're factors. The answer to the factoring would be the product. So if you have a factor like 2 times a factor like 2, you would get a product like 4. Now, today we're going to be working on making some models with this. And it's going to always involve, crispy rice treats or lasagnas. And so we might have a whole pan, or you might have a half a pan, or you'll have a fractional unit. But I want you to remember, I'm going to show you, hold on, don't panic. I want you to remember that when it's blurry, it's going to focus momentarily. Anyway, when we're multiplying fractions, you're basically just multiplying across the top and then multiplying across the bottom. Okay, adding and subtracting, we have to get the common denominators. Not so with multiplying. Okay, so it's really fun and easy to multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. And so this is how you would set it up. If all else fails and you don't know what to do, you can just set it up and multiply across. Remember, this is a division problem. So if you have an improper fraction, you can always set it up with division. Anyhow, we will have possibly whole pans of crispy rice treats. Okay, if you send half the pans, what's half of 4? Well, then that would be 2 pans that get sent to school. If you have 2 pans, what's half of 2? Well, that's 1 pan. But what if you have now finally 1/2 of 1? And that's where we're going today. Another sample is kind of showing how I'm going to make the models today. We will take a rectangular fraction model. We will show our fraction. And it's really important that you see how I've set this up, because we're going to talk about the order and how important it is when you make your model to match it. So you'll have an opportunity to do that today. And I think it's number 3, 4, something like that on the back of the page. Anyway, so if you have this is what you're starting with. I know you're saying, oh, why is it the second one? Okay, you're taking a half of the number. Remember that of means multiply, and you can also have a dot. Okay, and this is just the way it's going to be written in a word problem. Okay, half of this. You have this first, and you're taking this piece of it. Now, when all else fails, we're just going to multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. This is the answer, very simple. Here's how we're going to create the picture. 1/3 is what you should draw first, because that's what you have. Then we're taking half of that. We're going to do the across fraction splitting. And we did this way back, I don't know, a couple modules ago, when I said, okay, set up the first one vertically and set up the second one horizontally. We're doing the same thing today. Okay, now to interpret your answer, the number on the top is going to be the double crisscross area. The number on the bottom is going to be the total number of pieces that you will have created in your rectangular fraction model. Okay, so again, the double crisscross area will be your numerator. The total number of pieces will be your denominator. Sometimes you will be able to simplify, so watch out for that. But today we have unit fractions, so we're going to have a lot of ones on top. So today might not be the day for simplifying. Anyhow, here's another one, 1/4 of 1/3. If you have the 1/3 first, that's that vertical fraction, then you take 1/4 of it, again making 4 sections. The slashing will go both directions. I naturally will slash leaning to the right. So I always have to think, okay, I have to slash to the left for my crisscrossing so that you can create your answer. Okay, I think that's about it for the notes. So let's get into your book. All right, lesson 13. So we will solve, but we will also draw a rectangular fraction model to show your thinking. Then write a multiplication sentence, and the first one has been done for you. So just to kind of talk through what's happening here and where are the stripes, well, the book can't do stripes very well, so they do this double shading. This basically would be the right way slashing, and this one would be the left way slashing. So they also don't do the whole half, which is fine. You don't have to, but just so you know, it's the double shading that is the answer portion. So if you take half of a fourth pan of brownies, you start with the fourth, and then you take half of that, but you're only taking the half of the fractional unit that is already shaded. Okay? Probably like, what? Okay, you'll see it when we do it. Okay, so half of 1/4, here's the multiplication sentence. Half of 1/4. And then that's your answer. Okay? So I hope that's pretty clear. Let's do a picture. Half of 1/3 pan of brownies equals what fractional unit pan of brownies? So again, if we're taking half of it, what is the thing that we have? We have 1/3. So you're going to create the fraction for 1/3. Okay? Now we're going to take half of it, and this is going to be what we do on this side, remembering that we're always going to do a crisscross. So the first one will be vertical, the second will be horizontal. Now when I do the slashing, I usually just do the whole half so that you can literally see this is my half. But the double shaded area, oh, also pens are great. Let's say if you wanted to do, or colors, colored pencils. If you want to show in one shade and then in the other shade. The pink alone is not part of our answer, and the green alone is not part of our answer. The crisscross with pink and green is the answer. So write the multiplication sentence, half of 1/3, try the dot, works great. Multiply across, remember just like I said in the notes, when in doubt, if you don't know what you're doing, just multiply across and get the answer. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6. Notice that they did not rewrite everything as a 1 times 1 with a big fraction bar and a 2 times 4 as a big under the big fraction bar. They just say, all right, let's multiply across. So that's what you can do here, and now you can just pop that answer on the line. How about 1/4 of 1/3 pan of brownies? Again, I have 1/3 pan. Remember to start with the second number. And again, if you want to use colors, let's use the pink one as our first one and the green one as our second. But this time we're only using a fourth. So you're going to make your fractional units, and this is going to be 1/4. So if you take your 1/4 of 1/3, multiply across and get what? 1. Multiply across and get what? 12. Okay, so this is 1/12 pan of brownies. So pretty straightforward. I won't be doing the double shading. Obviously, that'd be a lot of work for me. That's why we do the crisscrossing. Okay. Here we go. Let's do another one. See, aren't these fun and easy? This is one of my favorite lessons, actually, in the book. 1/4 of 1/4. Okay. Fourths. This is what we have. So make fourths, and then I'm going to use my, oh, there's my bell. Time to get started. Okay, do my fourths there, and then fourths horizontally, and we're only shading 1. In tomorrow's lesson, or lesson 14, the next lesson, we will not just have 1s on the top. So it actually, this is really kind of a boring lesson. Truth be told, it's boring. 1/4 times 1/4. Hopefully you know what 4 times 4 is. 16, just go ahead and write it and circle it. And then we move on. Half of 1/6. Isn't that fast? Easy. We need sixths here, so we're going to do thirds on the left, thirds on the right, shade 1, or use your color. You can use any colors, but don't use something similar. It's nice when you have something that is different, like pink and green. Don't use blue and green because they're too close. And then we have half of 6, or half of the 1/6. Write a multiplication sentence. Multiply across, multiply across. Done. Oh, isn't that fast? Isn't it fast and marvelous and easy? Can you see it happening? See, this is one piece out of 12. This is one piece out of 16. So you're creating that denominator number of pieces, and then the double area is your numerator. And again, it'll be more exciting in lesson 14. This one is rather dull. Okay. Draw rectangular fraction models of 3 times 1/4 and 1/3 of 1/4. Compare multiplying a number by 3 versus by 1/3. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning. I said, oh, you're going to have an opportunity to show what the difference is. So if I have 3 times 1/4, okay, remember that multiplication is just repeated addition. So if I have 1/4, I'm going to repeat it 3 times. Now that's going to look like this. If I have fourths, make your box. Here's my 1/4. Show it and label it. Okay, that's 1/4. But I also have another one and another one. Okay, and we're going to label 1/4, 1/4. Okay, this is what 3 times 1/4 looks like. It's 1/4 3 times, or 3 times 1/4. It's being repeated. Okay. We don't have to solve it, but it would be 3/4. Okay. We're just looking at it right now. Today is the setup day. Now, what about 1/3 of 1/4? So set up your box again. Here is your 1/4 that you have initially. Again, the second number is your vertical one. And now I'm taking 1/3 of it. Notice how different my models look, okay? One of those pieces. So when I set it up with 1/3 of 1/4, my answer is only 1/12. And so this piece right here is the answer. That's totally different from this one, which would be 3/4. Okay? Totally different answers. They look different. They are different. If you got to have a donut or a cookie, would you rather have 3/4 of a donut or 1/12 of a donut? Okay, I don't know. It's probably bad for me, but I would want the 3/4. I would. Okay, so that's the comparing. Let's move on. Half of Isla's workspace is covered in paper. Half of the space is covered in paper. 1/3 of the paper is covered in yellow sticky notes. What fraction of Isla's workspace is covered in yellow sticky notes? So how much do we have at first? Half the workspace is covered in paper. Do my pink. And this one we can label and say paper. Okay, so if the whole thing is workspace, half the workspace is covered in paper. Now, of this, 1/3 of the paper is covered in yellow sticky notes. So now you can divide it into those 3 sections and say 1/3 of it is covered in yellow sticky notes. So the double crisscrossed area, this right here, and do you have to put the green over here? No, you don't. It's really up to you. The book won't put it there. I always do. I like consistency. Okay, and so we're doing half of 1/3. Okay, or actually, my bad. We're taking 1/3 of 1/2 because we actually have the half first. 1/3 of 1/2. Okay? Because it's half of the paper. So see, I just did what all the kids will probably do too. And you'll still get the same answer. Why? Well, because the commutative property says you can change the order of the factors. When is it going to matter? Well, it's only going to matter when you have a model that you're setting up, and I might look at it and say, oh, you should have this switched around. Like if it says you only have a 1/2 pound of lasagna, then you have to put the 1/2 second. Anyway, that would be if you're in my class. If you're an online subscriber, then I won't be checking your work too closely. Anyhow, if you are an online subscriber, thank you so much. And if you're not, click subscribe. Come back again. So let's label our answer. 1/6 of Isla's workspace is covered in yellow sticky notes. And yeah, you know, I always take the time to label everything, and you should too. I know kids are like, let's hurry up and get this done, but you really should label. Labeling leaves something to be desired. Okay. A marching band is rehearsing in rectangular formation. That's so nice. 1/5 of the band members play percussion. Half of the percussionists play the snare drum. What fraction of all the band members play the snare drum? So we have this whole band. That's all the members right there. Okay. 1/5 of the band play percussion. So let's do our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the percussion. Okay. And if you want to make it pink because it's pretty, that's fine. Percussion. Okay. And then we have half the percussionists play the snare drum. Now, the reason that I put the whole thing across and shade the whole thing as opposed to not doing that, I like to see all the pieces, and I like the kids to see, again, the consistency of all the shading all the way across. Okay, but the book is only going to double shade that. We're not counting this, and we're not counting this for anything other than the total number of pieces. So if I have half of the 5th, then I will have 1/10, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. That's where you get the 10, and only one is double shaded. Answer total. All the pieces right there. Okay, so this is going to be 1/10 of the band plays snare drum. There it is, 1/10. Okay, almost done. Last one here. Marie is designing a bedspread. Ooh, you got to pay attention on this one. Designing a bedspread for her grandson's new bedroom. 2/3 of the bedspread is covered in race cars, and the rest is striped. How exciting. 1/4 of the what? Stripes are red. What fraction of the bedspread is covered in red stripes? Ooh, we have to pay close attention. So let's start making the bedspread. Whole thing, bedspread. 2/3 of the bedspread is covered in race cars. We have thirds, and let's be careful here. This is race cars, and the rest is striped. Now, look at this. 1/4 of the what? Stripes are red. What fraction is covered in what? Red stripes. So, are they asking you about the race cars? No. Okay. So, let's use, I do have red. Okay. So, we have 2/3 is covered in race cars, and the rest is striped. Let's do stripes. I'm doing the whole thing in red. Probably going to confuse you. 1/4 of the stripes are red. I'm going to do blue. 1/4, 1/4, make fourths going across. 1/4 of the stripes are red. Okay, 1/4. It doesn't matter if you do the top or the bottom, okay? I've done the top on these, but I'm doing the bottom here. It does not matter. 1/4 of the stripes are red. What fraction of the bedspread is covered in red stripes? Let's take our multiplication sentence. Okay, and it's 1/4 of, not this fraction. This is the fraction with race cars. We're not interested in that, okay? Don't just pull things out of the problem because it's there. Think about it. What fraction goes here? 1/3. 1/3 is stripes, okay? So it's 1/4 of 1/3, and that's where you're going to get your answer with 1/12. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pieces. 4 times 3 equals 12. Again, we're making an array. And so 1/12 of the bedspread is covered in red stripes. Is red stripes. There we go. And that's it for today. I hope that was fun and easy. Tomorrow's, or lesson 14, is going to be super cool. Lots of fun. So we'll see you on the next one. Come back again. Bye for now.